You know that feeling, right? That quiet whisper, maybe deep in your soul, that little nudge that says, there has to be more to life than this. It's like this vision you have of a future self, someone more confident, maybe more abundant, more at peace. But actually becoming that person feels like this huge, impossible leap. So today we're diving into a really fascinating concept. It sort of bridges ancient wisdom and cutting-edge psychology. We're talking about the power of manifesting and specifically this incredibly effective technique called acting as if. And we've gathered, a pretty compelling stack of insights to guide us. We'll be drawing from self-development coaches like Leah Morris and Josie Santi, profound philosophical takes from Neville Goddard, and even some modern science about brain power. Our mission with this deep dive, it isn't just to talk about dreaming, is to really unpack exactly how you can consciously, actively become the person you're meant to be. Like right here, right now. Okay, let's get into it.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? What's fascinating, I think, is how all these different sources, they seem to converge on this one core truth. The life you want. It's not really something external you need to chase down. It's something you step into. You do that by embodying the version of yourself who, already has it. Manifesting, really, it isn't just wishful thinking. It's more fundamental. It's about a shift in your identity.
Okay, so let's clarify that a little, because I think a lot of us might confuse manifesting with just, passively wishing or hoping for things. What's the crucial difference there?
That's a really important point. Some sources, like KindNest, they highlight that dreaming. Often it is passive. You're sitting thinking about desires. But manifesting, that requires deliberate, conscious action. It's intentional. Now, we are technically, subconsciously always creating our reality through our baseline thoughts and feelings. But consciously manifesting your ideal life, that demands effort. Real conscious effort. It means disrupting those old patterns in your brain, those neural networks built on past stuff. And then consciously creating a new internal state. You have to create the feeling of having what you want inside first. That's what aligns you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That inner alignment. And it's interesting how long this idea has captivated people. Stars Insider points out it's been around for literally thousands of years. Ancient traditions, right up to modern TikTok trends. What is it about this whole concept that makes it so appealing, do you think?
Well, I think it speaks to a deep human desire for agency, right? For some sense of control over our destiny. And at its core, it often connects to what people call the law of attraction, which basically suggests that energy attracts like energy. Simple as that. So if you're operating from a place of lack, thinking about what you don't have, you tend to attract more of that feeling. But if you consciously behave as if your dreams are already your reality, you start broadcasting a totally different signal. You're changing your energetic signature, as Zoe Bolarowski puts it.
And that brings us right to the practical part.
Yeah.
Acting as if. We've all heard fake it till you make it, but you're saying this goes way deeper than just putting on a brave face. It's about living from the end result, embodying that future self today. So how does that actually work inside us? What's the psychology that makes acting as if so powerful?
Okay, so our brains are incredibly adaptable. One key idea here is something called self-perception theory. Basically, it suggests our brains figure out our beliefs by looking at our actions. Think about it. If you consistently act confidently, you make eye contact, you speak clearly, stand tall, that sort of thing, your brain starts to interpret this behavior. It literally starts to form the belief, I must be a confident person. So you're kind of building that belief from the outside in a way. And then there's neuroplasticity, which is just the brain's amazing ability to rewire itself. Every single time you choose to think and act in line with that desired identity, you're literally creating new neural pathways. And the more you repeat those thoughts and actions, the stronger those pathways become. Over time, the new mindset, the new behaviors, they start to feel completely natural, effortless even. You're literally building the brain of your future self. And all this feeds into what the sociologist Robert K. Merton called the self-fulfilling prophecy. Our beliefs and our actions genuinely shape our reality. We see it everywhere. Job, confidence, relationships. It's powerful stuff.
Wow. So it's not just some new age idea. It's actually rooted in how our minds work. And it's not just modern psychology either, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned philosophy. This as-if principle has been around.
Oh, absolutely. Deep philosophical roots. Norman Vincent Peale, power of positive thinking. He famously wrote something like, act as if you are not afraid and you will become courageous.
Act as if you could and you will find that you can. Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly. And even in therapy, like Adlerian therapy, it helps people overcome self-defeating views by reminding them of playing make-believe as kids. The argument is, as people begin to act differently and to feel differently, they become different.
That's such a powerful shift in perspective, from striving externally to becoming internally.
It really is. And we absolutely have to mention Neville Goddard here, a really renowned philosopher on this. He taught to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He really emphasized that imagination creates reality. And for him, acting as if wasn't about pretending. It was about making a fundamental shift in your identity, truly living in that state of being.
A fundamental identity shift.
Okay.
That's a powerful concept. Now, beyond the psychology and the philosophy, some sources hint at, well, an energetic component to our intentions. What does that perspective add to this acting as if idea?
Right. So if we broaden the lens a bit to more of an energetic perspective, some research, like studies cited on PubMed, explores this idea that focused intention might have subtle, maybe measurable effects. The concept, really, is that our thoughts and intentions create a kind of energetic frequency. When you direct your intention, especially with strong feeling, with conviction, it's like you're sending out a clearer signal. Now, this isn't about getting lost in complex science here, but understanding the principle that your inner state, your energy, it's always communicating, always attracting. So when your intention is really coherent, really aligned with that future self you're embodying, you basically become like a powerful magnet for that reality. It just highlights how knowing this stuff is valuable, but applying it, that's where the change happens.
Fascinating. So whether you lean more towards the psychology, the philosophy, or this energetic view, the core message seems pretty clear. Our internal world really does shape our external reality. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? It's clearly not just about thinking happy thoughts. It's about doing and being. Like Evolve magazine says, manifestation isn't about doing more. It's about being more. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? How do we actually do this?
Exactly. So the first practical step, define the identity of your future self. Get crystal clear. Vague desires like, I want to be happy. They're just too broad to work with effectively. Instead, you need to ask yourself, what does the version of me who's already achieved this goal? What do they do? What do they think, feel? How do they speak? Every single day. Leah Morris advises finding your truth and your values. What makes that future you feel genuinely alive? What things do they do where they just lose track of time? A really potent technique here is scripting. You actually write out a day in the life story of your ideal reality, but in the present tense, as if it's happening now. This helps really solidify those subconscious patterns for your new identity. It reminds me of that Picasso quote.
Oh, the one about finding your gift.
Yeah, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Getting clear helps you find that gift to give.
That's beautiful. And it leads perfectly into the second step, which sounds like taking inventory and clearing out the roadblocks to actually being that identity. So once you're clear on who that future you is, you need to realize that the resources to become them, they're actually already inside you. The tricky part is spotting those internal roadblocks, things like self-doubt, procrastination, the usual suspects. For self-doubt, Leah Morris suggests looking back at past successes, good reminder, or even asking people close to you what they admire about you. And procrastination. Bring big goals down into tiny, manageable steps. Actions your future self would just do, without fuss. And crucially, you have to challenge that negative self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't do that, you consciously reframe it like, okay, I won't know if I'm good at it unless I actually try. You're actively rewriting that inner dialogue to match your future self.
Exactly. Then comes step 3, implementing daily practices to embody that future you consistently. Jay-Z Santi, she's a holistic health coach, offers some really powerful journaling tools for this specific purpose. There's future you journaling. Like we mentioned, writing diary entries as if you're already living that dream life, stepping into those shoes on paper. Gratitude journaling is also key. Genuinely feeling gratitude, not just listing things, but feeling it for what you have and for what you desire as if it's already here. That shifts your whole frequency. Then there's highest self journaling, where you detail the characteristics, the habits of your ideal self, and then the challenge is to start showing up as that person right now, today. Another great one is create your day. You consciously plan your day in your mind first, like a mental movie of how you want it to unfold, living into that positive expectation. And beyond journaling, things like daily affirmations, but not just saying them feeling the success in your body. Visualize yourself achieving goals, including the small steps along the way, and actively, consciously change your self-talk. That reframe you mentioned, I can't afford that, becomes I'm investing in my growth, or I'm building wealth and that's coming soon. Building a consistent, high vibration morning routine, maybe with some gratitude, visualization, reflection, that can really set the tone for your whole day, aligning you right from the start.
And it's clearly not just about the internal stuff, the thinking and feeling. Step 4 seems to be about action, community, and self-care, all chosen from the perspective of your future self. Got to take some risks, right? Successful people, they don't get there by always playing it safe. Your future self is probably bolder. So embrace new opportunities and see failures not as failures, but as teachable moments, data points, and learn to use your voice. Say no to things, activities, requests that don't actually align with your goals or that future self's priorities without making endless excuses. Oh, and this is a big one. Consciously curate your circle. Surround yourself with positive people, people who lift you up, inspire you. Remember that quote. People inspire you or they drain you.
Yeah.
Choose them wisely.
Jeff Hansen. So true. It makes a huge difference. And also magnify your strengths. Figure out what your unique talents are and use them every day. It boosts your confidence and lets you give your best. And finally, please don't forget self-care. Treat yourself. Your future self values their well-being, whether it's a bubble bath, more journaling, exercise, meditation, whatever clears your mind and releases negative energy. It's essential fuel for showing up as your highest self.
Okay, so we have these steps. Define, remove roadblocks, daily practices, action. But let's be real. This brings up a big question for a lot of people, I imagine.
Yeah.
What if it just feels fake? Dishonest, even.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning.
Yeah, that's a really common hurdle. Your logical mind, your ego, it will almost certainly fight you on this. It's totally normal. It can feel like being an imposter, especially when your current reality seems to scream the exact opposite of what you're trying to embody. But Zoe Blorowski offers a great perspective here. You're not lying. You are rehearsing. Think of it like an actor rehearsing a role. At first, it might feel awkward, unfamiliar, but with repetition, it becomes second nature. It becomes part of you. So those thought shifts we mentioned, I can't afford that because I am building wealth and can have that soon. Or maybe my job is so stressful shifts to I'm grateful for the skills I'm learning right now as I move towards my ideal career. It's a gentle but persistent redirection.
Rehearsing, not lying. I like that distinction. It feels more empowering, and that really speaks to those times when daily life just throws chaos at you. How do you hold on to that future self energy when everything feels overwhelming? Because I know I've felt that pull back into old ways of thinking when things get tough.
Oh, absolutely. It happens. The key is acknowledging the chaos without letting it totally derail you or redefine your core beliefs about yourself and what's possible. There was a great comment on Reddit about this. Someone advised basically, let the chaos be there, but don't let it rewire my core beliefs. Even if the day feels like a total mess, deep down, you still hold on to the belief I'm guided or things ultimately work out for me. It's about gently, consistently pushing past that resistance, holding the faith, knowing you are rewiring your brain and your reality, even if the results aren't visible yet.
Okay, so when someone truly commits to this process, to consistently rehearsing and embodying their future self, what kind of impact can they realistically expect to see? What changes?
Well, when your inner world genuinely starts to align with that future self, you become, well, magnetic is a good word for it, as Evolve magazine describes. People can often feel your energy shift before you even say much. Opportunities seem to gravitate towards you more easily, money might flow more freely. Stress often gives way to a deeper sense of peace. Think about the examples like Sarah, the coach mentioned, who dramatically increased her income. She started embodying the identity of a high-ticket mentor before the clients showed up in droves. Or Tony, the realtor, who started attracting million-dollar listings after he stepped fully into the identity of a luxury market influencer. They both stopped waiting to become that person. They decided to be that version now, and their external reality eventually had to catch up.
And it sounds like a massive part of this is trust. And consistency.
Right.
You really have to trust that your efforts are working even when you can't see the result immediately. Which, let's face it, can be tough in our world that wants everything instantly.
It truly is one of the hardest parts. Manifestation of this process of becoming, it often works behind the scenes first, lining things up in ways you can't always predict or see. So patience and persistence, they are absolutely your greatest allies here. As Evolve magazine puts it, it's not about evidence, it's about energy. The universe aligns with energy first. Your main job is just to maintain that energetic alignment, to keep rehearsing. Kathleen Cameron suggests some really simple, consistent daily actions to anchor this. Spend just 5-7 minutes visualizing your success, really feeling the emotions of it. Write maybe 3 powerful I am affirmations that resonate. Make just one decision today that your future self would make. And importantly, celebrate a win. Any win, no matter how small. Do these things daily, consistently, and watch how your world begins to shift.
Okay, so let's recap this deep dive a little. We've explored how acting as if, how embodying your future self. It's not just some vague feel-good idea. It's actually a powerful, practical approach. It's rooted in psychology, in philosophy, maybe even in our own understanding of intention and energy. And it really boils down to combining that deliberate action with the feeling of already having achieved your goal, making that identity shift right here, right now.
Exactly. The journey is truly about becoming, not waiting around. You're not chasing some distant dream. Evolve magazine has a great line. You are the dream. You embody it first. The universe isn't holding out on you. It's essentially waiting for you to step into your frequency so it can catch up with your vision.
I love that. Step into your frequency.
Yeah.
So as you go about your day to day, maybe think about this. What's one small, maybe, but powerful choice you can make today, right now, to start embodying the version of yourself who already has all the joy, the abundance, the impact you desire? Keep exploring this. Keep experimenting with it. And keep becoming that incredible future self, starting right here, right now.